This is the extended version of my talk with Kevin Poon of Hong Kong, where we hit topics like global art, Chinese art, and yes, even KAWS. So now I would like to welcome Kevin Poon from Hong Kong, where it's about 10 at night. Kevin, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Josh. Thanks for having me.
So first off, what's kind of the general state of the art market in Hong Kong at the moment?
I'm not really fully sure, but from my point of view, I feel like people are very eager to, collect. There's a rise of this young Chinese collector that's eager to get into the market, and I think that people are excited.
These new young collectors, are they separating between collecting Western art and Asian art, or are they doing both, or is there really one or the other that's going on?
I think a lot of the young collectors are learning art through, social media. Maybe it's Instagram or the equivalent of that, and seeing, their peers post about certain things and getting excited about it, and then trying to find out more. And I think the auctions actually give them also a knowledge, because they can then, look back and see, what is what, and to continue to learn more about it. So I think there is a excitement about it, around it.
I've noticed over the last year that there's been really strong bidding from Asia for works by Black artists. And it seems kind of odd to me because the content seems a little bit maybe not in touch with what they're living. Now, you went to school in California and you were, I think, maybe more aware of what's going on. Do you think that's been a little bit unusual, or how would you explain it?
I actually didn't know that, but I think maybe my only assumption is that, Black people and Chinese people maybe, also feel a similar struggle, and, maybe that the way they express, they express certain things, or maybe they're, I don't know, it's hard to say, but, I also like a lot of Black artists like Henry Taylor, and, I think it's great to have all types of art, and I think that's really fully how you enjoy things, to have a diversity.
So you don't think that's just a mark of momentum there, but it's really resonating content-wise? I mean, I love those artists. Mark Bradford's done well showing in Hong Kong and in Asia.
Oh, well, maybe it's also the work of art advisors,
Well, as an art advisor,
in that case, like if
before we started insulting art advisors, or before I insult, Asians, we should be careful here, right?
No, in a good way. I'm just saying, like, I think a lot of people, like you said, it's not, don't take it as an insult. I think a lot of people need guidance, especially people that are just starting out to collect art. How do you know what is good and what is not good? So I think a lot of collectors in our part of the world rely heavily on art advisors to tell them, hey, look at it from this point of view and see the beauty in this, or, and how to collect a sound collection. So I wasn't insulting anyone. It's more just a commentary on what I see that's happening.
Now, switching tacks a little bit, you've been really involved professionally in blending art, fashion, design, music. Could you explain a little bit of what you've done and how you see what the difference from when you started maybe 10, 15 years ago in those areas to what's going on now?
I mean, it's been a really fun journey, to be honest. Like, I started collecting little small things like figures by Michael Lau and Eric So and these local people, and then started getting into, collecting a lot of different artists from New York, like KAWS and Jose Parla, and all types of, different artists, and just learning how to appreciate what that is, and just following each artist's journey. And I think now it's like they're kind of, in my humble opinion, like the Andy Warhols of this generation, that, they might not see the genius of it in a lot of ways, but, I think the way that they do stuff is very different, and it's new. And I think that I like new stuff,
Of me talking that I don't think KAWS is an important artist, and you talking that he is, where I think that that's certainly a big conversation where I come from. Maybe it's generational that I love SpongeBob, great show, culturally interesting, maybe not such an important figure, but I don't think the Kardashians are important either. But the market tells otherwise.
Well, I think there's, how do I call it? There's a certain level of genius about it, just from following Brian's career, from the early 2000s till now. And I think that, not too many people can do what he's done, but I mean, some people really like it. Some people don't really like it, but maybe I'm biased because I'm his friend, but I'm very happy when my friends do well and I support that, so I feel very blessed to be a part of this conversation too.
I wouldn't deny an incredible skill marketing there. It's whether I've said, I don't think I'm going to hear the statement Cezanne, Picasso, Pollock, KAWS, but maybe he doesn't want to be thought of in that continuum either. Maybe that's an old fashioned way of looking at it.
Well, I don't know. I would think I feel like he follows, Andy Warhol or like Jeff Koons of that type of sort, but
Okay.
I don't know much about art, so I wouldn't be able to say, but you're the expert, so maybe, there's something that we don't know.
Well, could you say a little bit more about how you blended all these categories together? And I noticed recently, I don't know if you saw his Instagram post where Takashi Murakami said he was near bankruptcy from all his non-studio work. And he's
Right.
been probably the leader of, and I am a Murakami fan, I will say, of working with Louis Vuitton, different kinds of things. Was kind of a shocking statement. And that's right in the sweet spot of what your work's about too.
Right. Well, I think, in my humble dealings with Takashi, I think he's a very passionate human being and he has a lot of interests. And I think that sometimes, his passion projects maybe be these films that actually cost a lot to produce, so in that sense, like he's got such a big scale and, I don't really know too much about his business, but I really appreciate what he's done. And I hope he strives above this, and I think he's a legend.
Well, he reaches big, which I admire. He puts it all on the line. And the statement wasn't that he was bankrupt, but I guess his film will have to be done in a different way. But that was seen we've seen so much in an interesting way in the last 10 years that the MCA in Chicago showing Virgil Abloh. I mean, I think that there's something really powerful going on with your generation and art that needs to be continued. And I wonder if this economy and the coronavirus is going to put a damper on that.
Well, I think definitely for the first, few months when coronavirus was really full on, I mean, I think people were not really in the mood to think about collecting art and things like that. But I think also being bored at home, lends itself to, maybe buying watches or buying some sort of stuff, and I think, I don't know, it just seems like it's booming again.
What about the recent political environment there in Hong Kong and the statement that Hong Kong will no longer have special status with the US? Do you see that as an impediment to the art market?
I mean, I don't really know because that's like beyond my pay grade, because that's like, I just want to do fun stuff, but I mean, it's definitely above my knowledge of what is going on, with Trump and, all this stuff. So I'm just, happily in my own little world, and learning from people like you and interacting with all these good people and just creating good energy.
Cool. I'm curious, you had a chance to look through this sale that's soon at Christie's that spread around the world. Was there anything that stuck out in your mind of what's coming and maybe some sort of prediction of what might happen?
Well, I don't really know because I try not to follow like too deeply into, into auction pricing and results, but I saw some very nice works, online, and I think it's kind of cool that how they have like different cities and divided up. And after the Zoom, I'm going to look in some more, but I quickly looked in, the New York sale and the Hong Kong sale, and I noticed that there was a lot of great works, and I noticed that there was a few Matthew Wongs in there that I don't. It's a lot of feels for me, but it's.
Well, he was a close friend of yours, and I think you told me you went to high school with him.
Yeah. So we went to HCAS together.
A lot won so soon after his death.
Yeah, yeah, he was a dear friend. We were talking about all these things we were gonna do, and and visit all the art fairs, but yeah, he just I was talking to Matthew's mom, Anita, the other day, and it's been a tough thing for people that know him, because I think people that seen his work in life, his paintings, are pretty, I would say, pretty impressive, and it evokes some type of feeling. So that I hope people appreciate it, and his legacy lives on.
Well, I hope that them being million-dollar objects so quickly and being flipped don't take away from that legacy. And that's
Yeah, I don't really understand that.
the look.
Yeah, I really don't really understand that. I feel like maybe people are just being opportunistic. But I hope that there's some foundations and things like that that will carry on his legacy, and I would love to help out in any way. I just don't know what I could do.
So while you didn't exactly make a prediction, how about this? If you could have, I'm going to tell you these are great works. Which one would you rather have? A Picasso, Femme d'Algiers, a 60s Rouchet word painting, a great Bryce Martin minimalist work, David Hammond's Rockhead, Barnett Newman painting, Money No Object, which would be in your house next?
I wish for the Rouchet.
Okay. So that your prediction is if only you could have the $30 million to buy the Rouchet, that would be yours.
I like Ed Rouchet's work. I hope to one day collect one of his works.
It's the Californian kid in you.
Maybe, yeah.
Everybody loves Ed. I mean, it's kind of like chocolate. You never hear anybody say, Ed Rouchet, I don't like him. It's like
right.
Pizza. Everybody loves pizza. Everybody loves Rouchet. That's
right.
It. And he's first rate.
And I hope you can end up loving KAWS one day.
I think we could have a whole show about the KAWS versus Banksy. Are you pro Banksy? Like that?
I like Banksy. I think I like that he's mysterious and he does something against the grain. Because when we were in London, he did a pop-up shop, like really far out, as a satire to people wanting to collect his objects, and I thought that was pretty interesting.
I think Banksy has like graffiti on the wall, as that kind of statement. I'm down with that. I think that's good. When it's fetishized into like, 10 million, that's kind of off point.
Although I do have to say, I saw his one big painting of the Parliament with all the monkeys, and I thought that was very impressive.
My theory is that was bought by Putin, but we'll never know. I don't think I'll be invited to that house to see, but it's just my wild guess.
I wouldn't be surprised. Nothing surprises me.
Well, Kevin, it's been great to have you. I look forward to like in real life.
Thank you. Thank you very much for accepting my views.
Thank you for coming, and stay safe there.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Good luck with the show, and thank you. Thank you for having me be a part of it.
Bye. Thank you for watching this extended version, and please check out all the extended versions that are both on YouTube and on our website.